Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about things that actually improve your gun's performance, the feel, etc., etc. In my opinion, the number one thing, and probably the best thing that you can get for your gun, for carrying and otherwise, is a good holster. And I really do mean it. Get you a really nice, comfortable holster. As it sits, I've been rocking my 43X MOS with a tier 1 concealed. There's a lot of people that make this style-esque of holsters with, little pieces and things that move with little kick outs. Number one thing to improve your carry performance is a good holster, a comfortable holster, in my opinion. Get you a nice holster. If you can get one that does multiple guns, even better, but man, get you a good quality holster. It will make you, what's a good word for it? It'll make carrying less painful for some and a lot more comfortable. So that's probably number one. Get you a good holster. Let's go with some stuff that's bang for buck, the best bang for your money. Get you a red dot capable firearm. Yeah, it's going to cost you more, but train with it. The quality of it goes up, the feel, the ease, the accuracy of shooting, the overall shooting experience becomes better with a good optic. But an optic cutout or an optic ready gun / slide, however you want to see it, it's the way of the future. For example, like this Holosun, it has solar panels, so it never really is supposed to die. How true that is, I don't know. But quality optics are definitely worth the money. On that same note, good suppressor height sights, or what they're called, if you're going to go for red dot, because you always need a backup. Everybody recommends Trijicon. You can't go wrong with Trijicon. Those are definitely the best bang for your buck as well. Expensive, but they're extremely high quality. So get you some Trijicon. Now, this may be debated, but this is just my opinion. If you're going to get a match grade barrel or a fancy barrel, you might as well get it threaded. Because honestly, what is the way of the future now? And I wish I had a ported gun, but it's a compensators. Compensators are the way of the future. Radian ramjets will work for a lot of people with states where you can't have threaded barrels, because if I'm right, theirs is a barrel adapter that just twist locks on and locks in place, that combines itself with the recoil spring or guide rod, whatever, same thing. You get what I'm saying. I've been thinking about getting one for my 17, but I probably won't, because this is supposed to stay stock. But in comparison from like shooting this, a compensated 43X to my wife's non-compensated stock one, is a world of difference. It's going to be, if you look at the SIG X macro, because I believe they are one of the first to do it built into the slide, because instead of the sight being here, it's going to come back. The barrel's already shorter. Then you'd have your slide, and then you'd have your built-in compensator to the slide. A good example of that, I don't have one, but will be the Staccato XC. Has its sides farther back and then a built-in port, in essence, versus, you know, the compensator. But that is the way of the future. Those guns perform extremely well. So options for compensating and porting are probably huge bang for your bucks. Lights, meh. Those are really, I think, aesthetics slash you may have less felt recoil due to the weight. But is it going to be something that is really going to affect the performance of your gun? I'm going to say no. Skeletonized firearm pin. This has one. This doesn't. Does it affect it? No. Is getting a full-fledged drop-in trigger going to be the best bang for your buck? I'm going to say no. I think just doing a couple of the trigger upgrades, you know, springs, connectors, will give you good performance out of them without spending, you know, $200+ on it. Instead, you may spend like 70, 80 bucks and get a majority of it. Unless you're going for, like, you know, the flat face, not fat-faced trigger setup, which I prefer that. Just a preference. Now, if you are a left-handed shooter, maybe, you know, getting an ambidextrous magazine release. I don't have it for my Glocks because I, you know, like most of us who shoot left-handed, you just get used to it. I mean, but those are definitely very performance-orientated for us. Now, on the other hand, I do have an ambi slide release on my 19. I wish I could have it on my 43, but they don't make it. But that's definitely a performance upgrade that's worth the 20 bucks or so. Fluted competition grade barrel, my answer is going to be a big no, though. You might as well just have a stock barrel or get your slide cut and a port done at that point, and you'll get a massive amount of performance upgrade. Magwells. For the range, yes. They're not that expensive, but are you going to get real performance other than better, more reliable, more consistent reloads? Then yeah, it's definitely worth it for you. You know, if you go to the range and spin rounds and actually got to a place where you can do reloads, then yeah, definitely get a magwell. I mean, other than pure aesthetic looks, if you're talking about aesthetics, man, they look good. They look good. They perform. So that's up to you. What else can we talk about? Ooh, slide cuts. Are they worth it? Probably not. Ultimately, the only thing that's going to be worth it is going to be getting it ported. I think porting is the way to go. Porting is the way of the future. Now, that's one of the things you should definitely look at is getting it ported. So, get it done. Look at ported and compensated guns, threaded barrels, things that will make you a better shooter, faster time on target is definitely going to work. Aesthetic stuff, not really much. I mean, here's one we can talk about. Wasn't even thinking about this. Grip work. Is it worth it? Now, I know the only thing I've done to, like, let's say these is do some undercuts, which I think the undercuts to get actual better grip, higher grip, deeper grip is definitely worth it. I mean, I just bought a Dremel and I do it myself. It's nothing crazy to do, but stippling on the other hand, I haven't been brave enough to try it yet. But for the same time, you can get Talon grips for like 10 to 15 bucks. And man, like you can definitely feel the world of difference between the grip texture, and you can get so many options for like 15 bucks from Amazon as well. Like you can't go wrong with that over like the stock grips, because there's really nothing at all to these. I mean, it's a night and day difference. Now, like the staccato, I've heard you can get different textures, but man, to me, that's already a solid texture. It's like sandpaper. I don't know how else to describe it, but sandpaper. But you won't let go. It's very nice. That's very nice. These are just meh. Now, if you can get stippling done for a great price, or the laser stippling that I've seen done that looks sick, and it's not crazy price, I would recommend it. Why not? Like, if you can get a better, tighter grip, it's worth it every day of the week. Very much so. Like, it's a world of difference. I'd hate to backtrack, but I know I said the actual cuts in the slide for like windows and stuff, maybe not worth it. However, deep serrations on the slide, get a little difference, may be worth it. I mean, if you're picking up a new slide for like, let's say a porting, and it has deeper serrations that actually have a good grip that you can get on, it's totally worth it in my opinion. Like, the feel is so much better. The grippiness is better. Like, I usually have to grab the optic. But for like the staccato, which is a horrible comparison, these are deep, have ridges, but that's just buttery, man. You can't really beat a staccato from the factory. This is all factory stuff. But the serrations, maybe not, how you can see the barrel through it, but definitely the serrations on these are the way to go. These have deeper serrations where you can actually grab it. I mean, almost, I would say if you're going to do a build, get you a quality slide, like where you can build off your platform. But compensating, good serrations, red dot. If you can't get a threaded barrel, Radian Ramjet, I believe, is the #1 way to go, because you get your guide rod, spring, compensator with a new barrel, and it's all one system, so you're good to go out of the box. A quality optic. I got a couple Loopholds, Hollow Suns, SIGs. Spend the money, get you a quality one. I'm looking at an SRO next for this, so I can move this Loophole to something else. But get you a quality optic. Those are definitely worth the money. Light-wise, I mean, I've heard people complain about Olight not being good. I've never had an issue. You can recharge them. You don't have to worry about batteries. I think the big issue is they die fast. But, I mean, I don't know. People just shooting with their lights on all the time anyway, so it's really hard to say. But then, if you're changing this battery, you might as well change this battery. But yeah, if there's any other questions you might like, advice, things I may have missed, things you think are worth the money, aren't worth the money, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And I'd like to hear more from you guys and what videos you might want to see. Thank you. See you again.